Prior to watching this video, I want you to ask yourself a question and answer it honestly. How deliberate is your own riding? When following another motorcyclist on the road or watching videos they have recorded of themselves riding, I can tell pretty quickly and confidently the approximate level of training and instruction they have or have not had. How, you may ask? How can you possibly be so sure as to make such a claim? Well, you may be surprised to know just how many tells or clues that, once learned and understood, become strikingly obvious to a trained eye. One of these, and what I want to address today, is how a rider uses the road itself, particularly how much of it they fully utilize to their advantage. How much do you yourself think about this when you ride? Firstly, lateral movement, or perhaps the lack of it, is a very reliable sign of both a rider's attention, their overall knowledge of roadcraft, and defensive riding capabilities. Indeed, positioning in general says much about a rider's concentration, observation, and anticipation levels. How changes in speed and position are dealt with illustrates, fairly accurately, their levels of proficiency in those areas. Are such positioning changes made smoothly, without drama, or suddenly and harshly? Are the changes proactive, made early and obviously planned? Or are they reactive, last minute, untidy, or sometimes hurried, even a little panicked? I have uploaded this demonstration ride as a visual aid, one that will hopefully show you just how many position changes are executed throughout its length. If you ride yourself, you should be able to see the reasons for every single positioning decision I make. If you can't or have questions, please let me know in the comments. Some may be more obvious than others, and some could well be very subtle alterations in response to hazards, be they of the static or moving variety. Whether dealing with straight stretches or bends, observe how you can utilize the entire width of your own side of the road in order to enhance both safety, stability, and frequently your view of the road ahead. It should be stressed that extending a view should never be prioritized to the detriment of safety and stability. On the subject of bends, study the approach, the line taken through and then out of each. If you are someone who finds yourself having to make constant positional or directional adjustments or corrections in speed when negotiating bends, no matter how minor, or needing to drastically correct course to deal with the next upcoming turn, then you are doing something wrong. The same applies if you ever find yourself too close to oncoming vehicles, or heading for the wrong side of the road, or the nearside verge. Ideal cornering lines on the road, although admittedly not always possible, are something that even riders who have allegedly been trained to advanced level still often get wrong. This is possibly down to poor teaching and maybe a failure to adequately demonstrate the techniques involved. However, it is apparent that while some riders may have been given certain pieces of the puzzle, those pieces that are missing mean that they are still not benefiting from the full advantages of correct technique. If you are someone who finds bends intimidating or stressful, or that every bend is a guessing game, and you are certainly not alone in that, it is something that you should be addressing. By failing to do so, you are denying yourself a great deal of riding enjoyment. You are also possibly placing yourself, needlessly, in undesirable situations and compromising your own safety. As with all aspects of riding and roadcraft, there is no substitute for quality, practical, first-hand training and instruction with a properly qualified teacher. This is something I would urge all riders to consider, regardless of how long they may have been riding. I have never met anyone who came away from such things having learned absolutely nothing.